you can just step up on and get things out of the bed. The Ford Ranger is a popular pickup, popular with farmers and tradespeople alike to get the job done in style. And now it's had even more of an upgrade, now being available as a plug-in hybrid. Today I'm checking out the new plug-in hybrid version of the Ford Ranger. First of all, a huge thanks to Pi Motors, Ford and Kendall for making this video possible, and to Dan Part, the sales manager. All their links are in the description down below, so if you want to take this for a test drive or want to know more about the Ford range, do get in contact with them. With that, let's start with the video. Let's start with the exterior design of the Ranger PHEV. So outside, the Ranger PHEV is very similar to the normal Ranger. There's 3 trims to choose from on the PHEV. You've got the standard, which is the XLT. Then you've got this Wildtrak model. And then at the top end, you've got exclusive to the plug-in hybrid, the Stormtrak model, which adds some extra styling features, more features inside, like a more luxurious interior, and also the exclusive chill grey. That model also gives you some different style alloys, which I'll move on to in a moment, and just has a bit more cool looks to it. I like the look of that vehicle. This is the Wildtrak though, so just like in the diesel model, you can have the Wildtrak version. If you want to watch my full overview of the Ford Ranger Wildtrak just on the diesel version, I did a couple of years ago, you can click up there. But today we're focusing on the plug-in hybrid model. So how would you know that a Ranger is a plug-in hybrid versus a diesel? Well, there's 2 little cues that you can see on the vehicle that'll point it out. The first one is this PHEV badge on each side, so you know it's a plug-in hybrid. And the second thing you'll notice is that there's 2 flaps at the rear, the electric charger flap here. As you can see, it's just a single normal AC type charger. That means you don't have fast charger capability. It can charge at a speed of up to 3.5 kilowatts, which isn't particularly fast, but as it's not a big battery, you can fully charge it at home on a 7 kilowatt wall box. Of course, it'll only go in at 3.5 in around 4 hours, which isn't too bad at all. So it's just to kind of top it up and give you better miles per gallon. And also, one of the main benefits is using it as that generator for power tools or what have you. It can be quite handy in that way when you get the vehicle to load packs as well, which I'll move on to in a bit. I love the front of the Ranger as well. It's nice to see it's not changed from the diesel model. So you've got these big chunky headlights. It looks so much more American than the previous truck did. I really love how it looks. It's just very imposing and just very chunky and solid. The Stormtrak adds a few bits of extra styling, like it has a badge in black across here. Full LEDs are standard from Wildtrak and above. On the XLT, you just get halogens. Unfortunately though, the indicator is just a halogen bulb. But one thing I have to say, it's so clear as a direction. It's quite large, which is great. We see quite a lot of tiny indicators now, so that's good. But what does it look like at the back? Let's take a look. Again, to the rear, very similar. You don't have any plug-in hybrid badge at the back of the car, and it still says the Ranger embossed, which I really love how that looks. We got the big Ford badge there in the middle and Wildtrak in black on this. Obviously, as this is in agate black, it does kind of blend in a bit. That looks really good if you get like the cyber orange one. It really does stand out a bit more, or even the blue, it looks great. The indicator at the rear is clearly a halogen. One good thing is it is large and it's got that nice pulsing indicator like a Mazda has, but it does look a little bit cheap. But it's the same with the D-Max, that doesn't have LED turn indicators either. These are just the standard rear tail lights you get. As with the diesel Ranger, there's plenty of colour options on the plug-in hybrid model. As standard on XLT and Wildtrak, it comes in the solid frozen white, which does look nice and it shows up the dirt so you can easily clean it. Metallic paintwork options are £600 excluding VAT, including this agate black colour, which looks nice and sleek on the vehicle. There is some other colours to choose from though, including the carbonised grey, which is what I last reviewed the Ranger in that colour. That was nice. You've also got the Blue Lightning, that's one of my favourites. I really like how that looks. Iconic Silver, Lucid Red, and then exclusive to the Wildtrak, you've got the Cyber Orange, which is really bright and definitely stands out from the crowd. So I really like how that looks. Going up to the Stormtrak model, you've got 2 colours available on that, and they're both free of charge. You can have it in agate black, like this one, or you can have it in the chill grey, which is exclusive to the Stormtrak and looks really sleek and stealthy in that colour. So if I was going for the Stormtrak, I think the grey would be what I'd go for. On the Wildtrak model though, I quite like the orange, plenty of nice colours there. Alloy wheels on the Ranger PHEV range from 17 to 18 inches. That's to give you a really decent sidewall for comfort and also for off-roading capability. As standard on the XLT, they come in these 17-inch alloy wheels. They're alright, they do look a bit boring on the vehicle and you can't upgrade them to a different design. Going up to Wildtrak, you get these 18-inch diamond cut grey and silver alloys. I really like the look of these. They're slightly different to the diesel wheels and they do look quite nice. That's another way you can spot the plug-in hybrid model. And last but not least, on the Stormtrak model, you get these 18-inch black alloy wheels, which also look really good. These are my favourite though on the Wildtrak. These have got the standard tyres on it. You can also upgrade to all-terrain tyres for £200 excluding VAT. For what Ford call a wheel pack, giving you a spare wheel. All the prices in this video are excluding VAT, by the way. These chassis mounted spare wheel as well, which of course if you're doing a lot of off-roading is definitely worth having. You don't want to be faffing around with a tyre inflation kit spare under there in the best place. It doesn't inflict on your load space at all. So it's quite interesting how Ford have set up the Ranger PHEV. You've still got the same 10-speed traditional automatic transmission like you get in the normal automatic Ranger, but it's paired with the electric motor. So you've got a 100 brake horsepower electric motor and a maximum output from the 2.3 litre turbo petrol and electric motor being 277 brake horsepower. That'll get you from 0 to 62 in hybrid mode in 9.2 seconds, which is faster than the diesel versions, which is really good. It's not as fast as the 3 litre Ranger Raptor petrol, but that is proper gas guzzler as you'd expect. So it gives you nippy enough performance, but also gives you that efficiency as well. So it's not on hydraulics, but it's easy enough to lift up. As you can see here, you've got a slightly different engine, petrol instead of a diesel. So it's a 2.3 litre EcoBoost turbocharged petrol 4-cylinder. And combined with the electric motors, it gives a maximum output of 277 brake horsepower, 281 PS. We've got 697 Newton meters of torque, which is really impressive, and a 0 to 62 figure of just 9.2 seconds, which is faster than the 3 litre diesel. It's very smooth. Just when you first start to really pick up some speed, you can feel it kind of grunting and stuff and changing, but generally the traditional 10-speed auto is very smooth on the vehicle, and having 10 gears means when you get to the highest gear it can really go along at some low revs, which is excellent. Having a 2.3 litre engine does also help that. It's not majorly strained when you go motorway speeds as well, so your fuel consumption shouldn't be too affected, whilst around town you'll be driving in electric mode. So really it's a great blend on the vehicle. Combined with this engine is the electric motor, which has got 75 kilowatts or 100 brake horsepower. So it's all together works quite well. Essentially what this is a detuned Focus ST engine, and it's combined with the 10-speed auto. So it's a unique bespoke setup for the Ranger PHEV. It's different to what you get on the plug-in hybrid Transit Custom, for example. You've got an 11.8 kilowatt hour battery, which gives an official EV range of 26 miles, which doesn't sound that impressive, especially as nowadays you get a lot of plug-in hybrids with a 70 or 80 mile range. I think you have to look at that at a different angle though. More use it as a hybrid to help with your fuel economy. Maybe Ford will make a full electric Ranger, who knows. They do have the F-150 Lightning overseas in America, which is huge and will be a bit too big for the UK. I actually saw one of those at the Fully Charged live show in Harrogate a couple of years ago. In the frunk of it, it had an emergency escape in case you get kidnapped, which was a bit crazy. But you can see in that video just how massive that truck is. It's too big for the UK market. Driving it, it's pretty smooth. It's nice and wafty as you expect from a pickup. It rolls in the corners, etc. But it's designed to be able to go off-roading. You've got that great ground clearance if you do need to get over anything. All-wheel drive remains the same and the capabilities are the same, which is excellent. So you can still tow up to 3.5 tons. The battery does run down fast-ish in hybrid mode because it kind of decides when it's going to kick in, and normally you're in electric mode at slower speeds and normally using the petrol engine at the higher speeds. So right now it's saying I've done 5.3 miles in total, 3.8 of which has been in electric mode, and that gives me 48 miles per gallon. But I'll be driving it longer this afternoon, so we'll be able to see like a realistic reading of what you get. Brakes are fine too. And you do have auto hold as well, which is nice. The brake hold works very well, though you don't have to put your foot on the brake hard or anything like that. It's just when you come to a stop, the car brake hold comes on. You don't seem to have any regen braking though. Regen's not that strong, but it is putting that energy back into the batteries, which is good. So it doesn't just roll away with itself, which is good, but again, it's not like a full regen. And there's no paddles, which would be quite nice to control the regen. It just kind of coasts along when you come off the accelerator, but they've made it feel as similar to the diesel, I suppose, as they can. It's not going to scare off existing customers. So this would probably work best for people who have got a shorter commute, improve the fuel economy, spend less on diesel, spend on petrol instead, and also have a smoother, nicer driving experience. Very smooth in electric mode around town now. And it doesn't feel too big to drive around town either. It's just when it comes to parking it, you notice it's quite a long vehicle and you kind of don't always fit in parking spaces. That's the only issue with it, really. The square dimensions though mean it's really easy to judge the vehicle, and it also means people generally get out of the way of you in this truck because you're quite imposing on the road. It would be really nice to see the Ford Maverick that they also get in the States. That's really quite an interesting truck. It's smaller than the Ranger. It's based on the Cougar, and they've got a self-charging hybrid that's got the Cougar powertrain. I think it would go down really well as more like a conventional car pickup truck. You do feel very grand in this truck as well. You've got a great commanding driving position, a great view out of the road as well, which is always nice. Even down a tight country lane, you feel better in this than in a lower down, smaller car, because you can see everything so much better. So you can see if anything's coming the other way. You've also got your rear camera as standard, so if you do need to go backwards, that's helpful with a car this big. Not the nicest day, but this is real world British conditions you'll be driving the Ranger in. Much rather be in a Ranger than on a bike, I can say that. So it can sound a little bit louder when it first kind of kicks the engine in, but it's quite seamless. It's fast. Yeah, picks up nicely there. You can definitely feel the electric motors, and you can definitely feel the turbo as well. It's really helping. That's quite loud there. When you're going up a hill, it does sound a bit diesely there. No, it's obviously not. But then it smoothens out quite fast. I mean, it can sound a bit rough if you really do boot it, but if not, it's fine. Quite a bit more powerful than the 2-litre turbo diesel, which it replaces essentially. Obviously, it is more expensive, and you also pay less for your benefit in kind tax, about half price. So that is also another benefit of having the plug-in hybrid model. They've actually changed the rules on pickup trucks this year. So there used to be a flat rate, pretty good for most people, but they've changed that now. A 2-litre diesel Wildtrak will cost you £305 a month benefit in kind tax for a 20% taxpayer. Plug-in hybrid Wildtrak, £174 a month for a 20% taxpayer. So that's really quite a good saving that you get. If you were looking at a 3-litre diesel, you'd be paying £346 a month in benefit in kind for a 20% taxpayer. So this is giving you significant savings over a year. Halving your benefit in kind tax bill versus a diesel model is great to see, especially when you go for the higher up trims, etc. If you do go for a Stormtrak model, it's £192 a month benefit in kind for a 20% taxpayer. I'll put on the screen what the benefit in kind is for 20% and 40% taxpayers as well, so you've got an idea there. So they're quite a lot more expensive to run a diesel pickup compared to one of these. It's just quite smooth, quiet at the slower speeds as well. It is good to drive. It'd be nice if the battery was a bit bigger, but I understand why it's not. It's for a few reasons: to keep the price down, to be able to keep the payload as well. I think if you're having a shorter commute, then this would really work for you. Maybe like up to 50 miles a day. As with a lot of plug-in hybrids, this feels like it's the same. It's using its electric battery kind of as soon as possible, which means if you are going on a long journey, you're only getting the benefit from it from the start of the journey, which is a bit disappointing. Instead of it spreading out and averaging out nicely over a longer period, you're getting a very efficient start period, and then you're having a less efficient period where you're driving with a heavier battery. So speed limit. That's decent, really decent. You can feel it pulling and you can feel the torque really helping. It's got 697 newton meters of torque. Now we're on the dual carriageway. Feels pretty solid at speed. It's comfy as well. It feels more modern and just more premium than the D-Max, definitely. And at these faster speeds, it's pretty smooth. You do get a bit of wind noise from the big door mirrors and of course quite a bit of tyre noise, but it's kind of expected from a pickup. And you've got quite a good sound system as standard anyway, so you can kind of mask that a lot. Oh, we got another Ranger next to us there. No, it's good. It's responsive, surprisingly responsive actually. So you don't need a 3 litre petrol. You can just go for something like this and it's going to be more fuel efficient, but have that power that you need, and also still be able to tow and have a great payload is also both great things. They've not really taken any capability away, just a little bit of load space eaten into a bit, but not by much. That's all my driving done for today. I've done 35 miles and 20.7 was in electric. So it did go up a little bit even when we'd run out. Over about 10 miles on a flat battery, we did 2 miles in electric, which was not bad at all really. So you can still have it as a hybrid, average 35.7 miles per gallon. So you're really getting the best benefit when you first drive in the vehicle. If you're doing a longer range, then that's where it's gonna suffer your fuel economy basically. But the battery is best just for helping that economy, especially around town, and also for powering tools, etc. is where it mainly comes in, and also the benefit in kind tax. And onto the load bay on the Ranger, you've got this standard, your tailgate, which is able to support a lot of weight, which is really good. And then you've also got your truck bed back here. So the truck bed is raised by about 30 mils because you've got the battery underneath here, that's where it lives. However, you've still got a payload of just over a ton, exactly the same as the diesel model, so that's great. You're not losing out much practicality. They've also scooped out a bit extra load space at the front and at the rear of the tailgate, just to give you a bit more space that you've lost in the depth of the bed, basically. As you can see, this one is open as standard. You can opt for a roller shutter though, a manual one for £1,400, and it's a bit extra if you want a power roller shutter. Of course, you can also go for a hardtop, not the cheapest, but adds to the practicality of the Ranger. It's quite nice to have this open one though, and obviously your vehicle's loaded all waterproof, so it doesn't matter it being out here. So yeah, very versatile, as with all Rangers are. Very good this tailgate at the back to tie your lace, get your boots, muddy boots on and off, etc. It's great, and you can even use it as a workbench as well. As you can see, very practical, and you've got that scooped out section there. This step here to get up, and you also have the integrated steps at the side of the bumper, which you can just step up on and get things out of the bed, which is really handy. Ford were noticing on the previous Ranger that people were stepping up on the rear tyre, so they put these steps in. One of the main benefits of the plug-in hybrid Ranger is the Power Pro on board. This is in the cargo convenience pack. You can either have a 2.3 kilowatt plug, which is just one plug, or you can have this, where you can run off more heavy things, saws or whatever you're doing. That is quite handy to have that on the vehicle. So you've got 2 plugs on this, 2 230 volt plugs, which is really handy. And you're just drawing that energy from the hybrid battery, which is fantastic. So I think this is where a lot of the benefits come from with the plug-in hybrid. Rather than having that electric only range, because that's not that big, it's having a massive battery for power tools, charging things up, etc., or being off-grid. You could even go camping. It'd also be quite handy. So vehicle to load, this is where it comes in with commercial vehicles, rather than just an EV having a vehicle to load. Doesn't make as much sense. This does though, having power tools, being able to charge all the batteries for the power tools, etc., plug in a lawnmower, whatever, you've got the capability to do so. You can even plug in your Hoover and Hoover out the back or what have you. So really good. Jet wash, sorted. You've got it all covered. The Ranger plug-in hybrid can tow the same as what a diesel can, so up to 3.5 tons, which is excellent to see. So you're not sacrificing on capability just because you've got electrification. It's still a very capable truck on and off-road, and also to be able to do the heavy tasks like towing a caravan or heavy horse box. Something that pickups often struggle with is rear room. You don't get a lot of space. This is my driving position, about 5'8". Got knee room's not bad, it's decent enough, and headroom's actually quite good. So it's not bad, it's not the worst, but it's not the biggest space in here. If you do want the plug-in hybrid Ranger, they're all double cabs, so they're all the 4-door variant like this, with this much space in the rear. You've also got a rear armrest, pulling it down. The cup holders come out, which is quite short, with 2 cup holders, which is nice. USB-A and a USB-C back here. You've also got a 3-pin plug back here as well, so you can plug in phones, laptops, whatever, which is excellent. So that's really nice. Pocket in the back of each seat as well, carpeted inside. Oh, that's luxurious, that. I can just put my hand in there and keep them warm. That's quite nice. You've got 2 hooks here as well, and of course the bench does flip up. Base, which flips up. This little hook goes onto the center headrest here. And then you've got space here and also your jack and your tools to change the spares. So that's handy. Really nice to have that. And then this little loop goes in the pocket there, which is always quite useful. So that's good. And that just goes down. You can also move this forward like so. And that gets you your top tether ISOFIX points. You can get to those. And also you can put thin items behind here, so you can put high-vis vests or jump leads and the seats will still shut, so it gives you a little bit of extra space to put things in, or even valuables, an iPad or whatever, you can keep behind here out of sight. So that's also really handy. It's a bit of a faff to shut though, because you've got to get the seat belts back on each side and you've got to give it a good slam. There we go. ISOFIX points are nicely hidden with zips as well, which I like. What's the middle seat like? Surprisingly, it's very comfortable. Even the back is very squishy. Yeah, you obviously have to put your feet on each side of this section here, but you get a great view out. You are a bit higher in the middle, but it's very comfortable. So 3 adults in the back for short journeys shouldn't be a problem at all. Got chunky handles and materials aren't too bad in the back. Not as nice, they're not leather wrapped here, but the windows go down all the way, which is really nice, and they are automatic as well. Woo, windy out there. And as with the Ranger Diesel, it's pretty much the same story inside the PHEV. This is the Wildtrak model, so my favourite with the orange stitching. Looks great, all on the steering wheel as well, and I really like how it looks. You've got Wildtrak embroidered on the seats as well. If you go for Stormtrak, you get slightly different seats, a bit more luxe, with white inserts and Stormtrak across there as well. If you do go for the standard XLT, you just get cloth seats as you'd expect. This 12-inch Ford Sync 4 screen is standard across the range. It's fantastic. The only thing is it's facing slightly away from the driver. Climate's down here, which is always really easy to access, and then you've got some shortcuts here to up the fans or lower them or do your windscreen, etc. You've also got the Ford Quick Clear heated windscreen, which is fantastic. So climate's all quite easy to do. Steering wheel, really nice, it's not too fat and chunky. The leather's okay, it's kind of quite a grainy feel leather, but it's not too bad. As standard, you get these digital dials, which is nice. Another nice standard feature on Wildtrak and Stormtrak is the wireless phone charging. That's excellent, it's a really nice rubberized pad that you can just pop your phone on there, very convenient and easy to use. The seats are quite comfortable as well. I think they are more comfortable in the D-Max, I'd say. They're just a bit more bulkier, but the Stormtrak seats, you do get better seats again than these, which is nice. You got some fun cup holders that pop out as well. Pretty much everything that you could want. You've got the grab handles to get in and out, and then you've got this black headliner as well on the Wildtrak for that sportier look, but still bright in here with big windows. You've got your drive modes here as well. For high, it's changing. For low, for auto, or two-wheel drive is what you're gonna normally be driving the vehicle in, and then you twist this for your drive mode. So you've got normal, eco, sport, tow, slippery, mud, sand, and that's it. You've also got your EV button, which is obviously different for your plug-in hybrid, so that is where you can go through your different modes. I normally just leave it in EV Auto, and that'll just basically run it as a hybrid vehicle. I'll show you the rear view camera as well. There we go. That's a really handy feature to have. You can see where the tow bar is as well, and the guidelines. It's so clear as well, so you know exactly where you are with everything, and the big door mirrors help as well. You've also got front and rear parking sensors in this Wildtrak, which is excellent. As I say, it's a very long vehicle, so the camera does come in handy. Normally I'm not needing a camera, but I think with the pickup it's useful because obviously your visibility out the back as to what you see as the back of the car is actually quite a bit further away. So when you're getting nearer to something, this really is a useful feature to have. The Wildtrak does add a bit of luxury as well. Having the electronically adjustable driver's seat is a really nice premium touch to the vehicle. Just allows you to get comfortable very easy. Yeah, it just feels nice and solid and chunky inside. Definitely has more of a premium, more modern feel than the previous generation Ranger, which was still pretty nice beast, but this is even better. This is a button for your little top glove box here, and then you've got a normal glove box down there, full size, which is nice to see. So then, what are my final thoughts on the Ranger PHEV? Well, I think it's a good option if you're looking to lower your benefit in kind tax rates, lower your overall running costs, and also have basically a huge battery on board to power all your equipment. It could be a really sensible option. It's nice and smooth to drive, a little bit quieter than a diesel too, and you get a lot of equipment, especially on this Wildtrak, which will probably be the most popular model. You get things like wireless charging, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, rear view camera, etc. So it's pretty well equipped. It's a nice truck overall. It has a premium edge over the Isuzu D-Max, definitely, and nice that you have this electrification. I understand why they've not done a bigger battery to keep the payload the same, etc. So that makes a lot of sense. A huge thanks to Power Motorsport and Kendall for making this video possible. All their links are in the description down below. If you're in the mood to stick around and watch another one of my reviews, you can check out the Ford Puma Gen E on this exact car up there. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.